Hi everyone, this is Sangeeta Gopi and I'm from Medcity International Academy. And in this video, I'm going to discuss IELTS writing, and yes, we're going to have a look at essay writing. And our specific focus for this particular video will be on the secret to writing an introduction. So let's get to that. And why is writing an introduction all that very important? Now, IELTS writing is a 1 hour long test. It has 2 tasks to it, and the essay writing is the second task. You need to complete this in around 40 minutes, and it carries twice as more marks as that of task 1, which is the first task in your IELTS writing. This makes it very important to master the art of writing IELTS essays, because if you write it really well, you'll end up getting a very good band score, probably a 7 and above. Which is why writing the introduction itself has a lot of importance to it. And I hope that this video helps all those IELTS aspirants out there who are trying to learn on their own, experiment different things. And the series of video that we've planned at Medcity will henceforth guide you through taking the test. So let's get straight to writing the introduction in an IELTS essay writing. So if you look at the screen, I've written it as the secret to writing an introduction. So why do I call it as a secret? Now, the IELTS essay, I can tell you that there are 5 different types of essay questions that are possible. But whatever the essay question type be, the method that you can use to write the introduction can be the same. By the end of this video, you will master the mantra to come up with a perfect introduction, and that is the first step to writing an IELTS essay. What does the introduction include? And why is the mantra that very important? Let's have a look at the possible essay question types. Now here on screen, I do not have all the 5 different question types. Now the theme here is communication. Now all these 3 that I have on screen are questions based on the theme communication. So this is question 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So we're going to look at 3 samples. So when we look at these samples, you can see there is a particular structure or a method in which the question appears. So in every essay question, we will have the first half. It could be in a single sentence, as you can see the example here, or it could also be 2 or more sentences. Now the sentence here is basically the theme. It is the main idea on which we have to base our essay. And the second half of the essay question is the question itself, and let's call it as the task. Now the task part of the question will let you know, or will inform you, or will guide you as to what question type or what essay question type it is. So in this example, you can see the task type here is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? In case of the second essay question, the task type is this a positive or a negative development? And the third example that we have on screen, the essay question type is, do the advantages of this outweigh the disadvantages? So out of the 5, these are of course 3 of the major essay question types. Now for all of these essay questions, the structure is the same. You have the main theme of the essay in the first half and the task in the second half. So when we write the introduction in your essay, remember this is the first paragraph that the examiner is going to read. So it's important to write a very clear essay, introduction, which will definitely showcase your language ability. The introduction has 2 parts or 2 sections to it. The first is the background statement. And the second part of it is the thesis statement. So I've just told you that there are 2 parts to the introduction, the background statement and the thesis statement. At this point, I'm sure there would be at least a few of you out there who have read or know about a third possibility, which is, or a third part to it, which is a general statement. So there are some of you or some of the students that I've seen who would like to begin the introduction with a general statement. And as the name suggests, that particular statement is very general. So one challenge the students mostly face when coming up with a general statement is, how do I actually begin a general statement? What should I write? And the second challenge is, how long should it be? Should I write the general statement in a single sentence, or should I have 2 to 3 different ideas attached to it? So there's this highly confusing factor attached to a general statement. That is one reason why I do not advocate writing a general statement. Instead, it's always recommended to begin your introduction with the background statement, because you don't have to think a lot on what to write, how long it should be. All the answers to how to write a background statement and how to write a thesis statement is already there in the question given to you. So let's have a look at how that will help you. So I told you that the background statement and the thesis statement can be taken from the question itself. Now to come up with a background statement, all you need to do is paraphrase, that is, rewrite the main idea or the theme given to you. So I told you that the theme of the essay is given to you in 1 or more sentences, and when you paraphrase it, when you rewrite it using your own words, it becomes the background statement. And whenever you paraphrase, you should make sure that the meaning given in the original question remains the same, and the tone also remains the same. So you need to retain both the meaning given to you in the statement and the tone of the statement, as in whether the statement is positive, negative or neutral. You need to make sure by the time you paraphrase, the tone is maintained. The thesis statement is nothing else but is your opinion, and this opinion can be framed just by looking at the task. So in the first example here, the task is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Which means, how much do I agree or disagree? So if my opinion is agree, that is what I need to write as my thesis statement. So basically the task will help you come up with your opinion. So having discussed this, let's see how we can come up with an introduction to these questions given. Now this is the first question, and as per our discussion, it's this theme, the statement that gives a central idea of the essay, that will help you come up with the background statement. So I need to paraphrase it. And my opinion, which is the thesis statement, is framed from the task. So to come up with a background statement, I need to ensure that I underline the keywords in the statement already given to me. I also need to ensure that I mark the word order, and then I have to find out synonyms for the words that I have underlined, and then I need to paraphrase. And whenever I rewrite it using the synonyms that I've just found out, I need to make sure I change the word order. So these are the steps, simple steps to coming up with a background statement. So let's get to underlining the keywords. Some people believe. Okay, now this is important because the opinion given here is not something that the vast majority agrees with. And what is that opinion that some people have? Handwriting is no longer useful in the modern world. Not be taught in schools. So these are the key words that I need to underline. So I'm done with the first step. Second, I need to mark the word order. Some people believe appears first in the sentence, followed by the word handwriting. No longer useful is number 3. Modern world comes fourth, and not be taught in schools come fifth. So this is the original order of the words that I have underlined. So I'm done with the second step. My third step is to find out synonyms for these keywords. So how else can I say some people believe? Now I cannot write many because in the question the word says some. So if I use the word many, that would be wrong. So I need to make sure whenever I find out synonyms, I maintain the meaning and the tone. So a negative statement should be paraphrased in the negative itself, whereas a positive statement should still be positive after paraphrasing. So how can I write some people believe? Probably I can say certain people are of the view, which is equal to some people believe. Fine. The second word is handwriting. How do I paraphrase, or what synonym can I think of when I think of the word handwriting? Well, that seems to be slightly challenging, so I decide to retain the word handwriting. 3. No longer useful. No longer useful. Maybe I can say cannot be used. Okay. And 4 is modern world. how do I paraphrase modern world? So I can say in today's world, or I can say nowadays. Okay. And the fifth, now the synonyms that I'm writing as an example here, like let me tell you that I wouldn't say these are the perfect words or the perfect way to come up with a paraphrasing of the statement given to you. These are just samples. You might be thinking of a better word which you can replace. It's all right. This is just to let you know, to guide you as to how you can come up with a background statement, and all of us can try it in our own different styles of writing it, but the main idea of how you come up with a background statement can be the same. So should not be taught in schools today, need not be a part of the curriculum probably. So what I've done here is found out certain other ways to express the keywords that we've underlined. So these are not the perfect words that you can use. Definitely, I'm sure you must be thinking of a better word to replace these, which is okay. Okay, the idea is the same, that you underline the keywords and find out synonyms. Now we have the last step, which is paraphrasing by changing the word order. So let's see how that can be done. So the order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I write it as a statement, I can probably, okay, so let me first give you an example of paraphrasing using the same word order. So in that case, my sentence would read something like this. Certain people are of the view that handwriting cannot be used, in today's world, and it need not be a part of the curriculum. Maybe you can say curriculum at school, or just stop at curriculum. Now this example here is a word by word paraphrasing of the statement. Now there is nothing wrong in the sentence. Now this is still a background statement, but a better way would still be to try and change the word order. So how do I do that? So probably I can say certain people are of the view that handwriting need not be a part of the curriculum today, as it is seldom used these days. Okay, so let me write it out for you with a different ink so that you get a better idea of how that becomes a paraphrasing. So I began this way. Certain people are of the view that handwriting need not be a part of the school curriculum as it is seldom used these days. Now this example in yellow, I have paraphrased the order. So I began with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how I have changed the word order. Now both these examples, the one in purple and the one in yellow, are correct ways of writing a background statement. But I would always say when changing the word order from what it was originally, that is the one in yellow, is a much better example of paraphrasing. So it shows the examiner, or it conveys the idea to the examiner that my language is strong enough. I can say the same things in my own words and I need not follow the same pattern of sentence given. So this is how you can come up with a background statement. So if you look at the second example here, this part of the essay question is what will help you come up with a background statement. So I'm not doing it here on screen for you. So this is a challenge which is open to all of you watching the video. Can you try and write a background statement for this? At this point of the video, possibly you can pause it for a while and come up with the background statement. But for now, I'll move on to writing the thesis statement. And thesis statement is nothing else but answering the task. So when you give an answer to the task, that becomes your opinion, which is nothing else but the thesis statement. So for this particular task, is this a positive or a negative development? What are the different opinions I can have? Opinion 1. So I can say it is a positive development. My opinion 2, second way of writing it, could be that it is a negative development. And I can have a third opinion which clearly says that it has both positive and negative sides to it. So I can have 3 approaches to the essay. Whatever I choose as the opinion, whatever I choose as my approach, should be written as a thesis statement after the background statement. So whenever I write my opinion, I begin with the words, in my opinion, comma, or I can say, from my perspective. Or there are various other ways. I am of the view, I am certain that, I believe. So you have to either write things like I believe, so I have the word I there, okay, which clearly states that it is my opinion, or I have the pronoun my, which again states it's my personal opinion. So how do I write? So my example here is that it is a positive development. So how do I begin a thesis statement? So I can say, in my opinion, what is the question about? Internet easily accessible to children. In my opinion, internet being available to children is a positive, I can say development, I can say positive trend, or I can say, in my opinion, internet being available to children has positive impact on children or brings about a positive impact on society. So my opinion here is it is positive. So depending on what my opinion is, I will write a thesis statement here. And to make my thesis statement better, I can add a reason. Why do I say so? So what could my reason be? So I can say, in my opinion, internet being available to children is a positive trend as it makes knowledge easily available to children, or as it makes knowledge more accessible to children. So that's my reason for why I feel that internet being accessible to children is positive. So I add a reason to it just to better my thesis statement. So this is how you can come up with a thesis statement, depending on what kind of task it is. When you add the background statement and the thesis statement in a single paragraph, that becomes the introduction. So you can easily begin your introduction by paraphrasing the question, which becomes a background statement, and giving an answer to the task makes it the thesis statement. So that's how you can come up with a perfect introduction. So I hope at the end of this video you have a better picture of how you can possibly come up with an introduction. So here is a bonus. So here is a challenge for all of you. This question that you can see on screen is for you to solve. Based on what you just learned from this video, try and come up with an introduction. And you can post your introduction as comments below this video. And I'll try my best to give you feedback on what you come up with. Hope this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching this video, and watch out the space for upcoming videos on IELTS.